Alright guys, so I'm going to try some Bose peanuts. Holy shit. Alright, welcome back everybody. So the clip I just showed to you guys, so that was me during my most recent trip to China, where I tried out some Bose peanuts on a skewer. Now, if you're wondering how come the slices are so small, obviously they have all been chopped up, and it's not actually the testicles itself. So I'm actually, eating part of the penis. Afterwards, I started thinking, maybe all of this is wrong. You see, the Chinese, they have been eating all kinds of animal penises for a very, very long time. And the reason why they do that is because, or for the longest time, the Chinese thought this is a sign of virility. So there's an ancient saying in China that's been passed around for many generations. It's called 吃什么补什么. So what does that mean? So 吃什么补什么 means that whatever it is that you eat, you will end up gaining from it. And obviously, if you guys have seen, the horse penis or the Bose penis, it's pretty massive. So yeah, these animals they're packing a weapon of mass destruction. Honestly, after eating the Bose penis, I have to tell you guys, it doesn't work at all. And the taste is terrible. And I also had an option to try out the goat's penis as well, but I decided to skip it because it was very soft and slippery, and it just the texture really, really bothered me. So I decided to skip it. But the Bose penis, I would give it 2 out of 10. Extremely chewy. I did not enjoy it. And obviously, if you guys have clicked on the title of this video, yes, many years ago, I used to eat dog meat once in a while, not like all the time, once every few months. The last time I have eaten dog meat, I think it was probably at the end of 2016. So it's been almost 9 years now, and I don't think I will be going back. And I started having all of these flashbacks about everything that has happened in my family. By the way, if you're wondering how the Chinese started eating dogs, it was actually the Koreans. If you actually watch my full-length documentary on China's century of humiliation, the entire Korean peninsula used to be a Chinese puppet state, and it was due to this Korean influence that China started eating dogs. And if you watch some of my older videos, my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, she was actually born on the China-North Korea border. So I do have a lot of relatives who are from the Liaoning province, which borders North Korea. That's why every single member of my family has eaten dogs. And I think about all the drama, all the chaos, all the pain, all the suffering, all the bad things that's happened to my family. And I started thinking about karma. Perhaps all of this is wrong, and perhaps if you actually want to move forward as a society, as a human civilization, some of the old ancient practices, they need to be thrown in the trash bin. Way back in the day, the Koreans, they started eating dogs because Korea was extremely poor, and you have to remember Korea was taken over by the Japanese Empire. Yeah, and you have to remember under the Japanese rule, the entire Korean peninsula, they fell into the Dark Ages. And their history, their language, their culture was nearly completely wiped out, and almost everybody was living in extreme poverty. And when you're completely broke, when you have no other option, when people are dying from famine, people will eat anything they can find. So cats and dogs have become a regular part of these people's diets. But I think, honestly, it's time for a change because, my grandmother, she was a regular dog eater. So was my dad. So was my mom. So was my sister. In fact, they still eat dogs, just not as often. Now I think about all the divorces, all the chaos, all the single mother homes, all the gangster wannabes, people getting locked up. And I think perhaps, there's a reason why for all of this. It's because in the past, we all have sinned. From this moment on, I'm going to make a promise right here on this channel. I will never ever eat dog meat ever again, or anything weird, cats, snakes, bats, although I have never tried any of them. And also, I will never eat the penis of another animal again because, to be honest, it tastes quite disgusting. It was extremely chewy, and my penis did not grow any bigger after eating the Bose penis. From this moment on, I'm going to believe in God, I'm going to believe in karma, and I'm going to put all of that behind me. And once again, I just want to be open and honest and transparent. I'm not like one of those, 30-year-old women who are, one of those born-again virgins. They convert to Christianity, and they ask Jesus Jesus Christ for forgiveness for all of their sins. I'm not asking for any forgiveness, but I'm just telling you guys, especially to all the Asians out there, if you're Chinese or Korean, Japanese, Filipino, Vietnamese, Thai, if you're still a regular dog meat eater, perhaps it's time for you to choose an alternative and change your diet. And if you guys actually believe in virility by eating animals' penises, well, clearly that has not worked out very well for the Chinese man. And I don't think it has worked out for the Koreans or the Japanese or the Vietnamese or Filipinos or the Thai. If anything, it has backfired 100% on Asian men. And also, I'm just going to add on a couple of points here. So what I have noticed since my last return to China, so the dog meat consumption has dropped dramatically. I would say probably upwards of 80%, possibly 90%. Even when I visited the China-North Korea border, there used to be so many dog meat restaurants. The vast majority of them has closed down. And of course, there's obvious reasons since what happened during the pandemic, although I have so much more to say on that. I don't know if YouTube is still strictly censoring these topics. If YouTube has actually lifted these censorships surrounding the COVID pandemic, I would actually love to cover that topic for a full-length documentary. So that's just one small factor. I would say the number one reason why is that people are actually getting lonelier than ever before. If you look at the statistics worldwide, it's like this everywhere. Look at in the US, I believe in the 60s, so the average close friend that the average American person had was anywhere between 3 to 4. Then if you look at, let's say, the 1990s to the early 2000s, I believe the average close friend a person had was 2, and then now it's about 1. The average American only has one close friend now, and 20 years from now it's going to be something probably like 0.3. Yeah, we're all going to end up alone. I think the loneliness epidemic is real. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are extremely depressed. A lot of people are searching for help. And obviously, this is a massive reason why animal adoptions has gone through the roof. Since my last trip back to China, so many Chinese people, not just women, understand there's this negative stereotype about these leftover women who are cat moms. But a lot of single lonely men, they're also adopting animals. They're adopting cats and dogs. And I think a lot of these Chinese people, they're building a very strong emotional bond with their newly adopted pets. That's why the consumption of dog meat has dropped dramatically. Maybe it's for the better, maybe it's for the worse. But I would say society is progressing forward. I mean, if you actually learned about history, it was very normal for white people to eat dog meat as well, especially during the Civil War when people were dying of famine and starvation. When you're left with no choice, people would do anything they can in order to survive. So I think this is how we move forward as a society. And there's actually so much more to expand. This is just a slight preview. Come September, I'm hoping to actually sit down and interview a lot of people, especially struggling young people, on how we can find a solution to move forward. Because everything is broken, everything is progressing backwards. And I did mention before, I think the number one reason is because of secularism. Well, it's not that simple. So I keep talking about how you need to believe in God, have faith, God is real, Christ is King. But it's not that simple anymore. You see, 1,000 years ago, of course, people believed God is real because a lot of people, they lacked the basic understanding of science. And then look at what happened in the last couple hundred years, the Industrial Revolution. You got geniuses like Albert Einstein, like Stephen Hawking. You have people like Thomas Edison, Isaac Newton. And these things have changed our lives forever, whether if you think it's for better or for worse. Because way back in the day, people worshipped God and they believed in the devil. People believed in divine punishment because they thought, oh my God, look at all these earthquakes, look at the famine, the flooding, look at the massive snowstorm, the avalanche, the wildfires. So this must be because someone is actually committing infidelity in our village. And this is the devil's punishment. And these people who are cheating on their spouses, they will be sent to the lowest circles of hell where they will be punished for all of eternity. This is why we must always believe in God. This is why we must always worship in God. So there was a reason why way back in the day, almost everybody believed that the devil was real and that God was real, because religion kept everybody together. But now, with the rapid advancement of science and technology, we start to understand why these things happen, about our ozone layers, the reason why there's so many earthquakes in places like California. We understood the concept of the tectonic plates, of the ring of fire, and we understand why these severe floodings, these thunderstorms, these avalanche, the reason why they happen. And after humans started understanding these natural phenomena, more and more people over time naturally just became more secular, because now they realized that it wasn't actually God, or it wasn't actually devil. It's actually a part of mother nature. It's just a science, and everything can be explained using physics and chemistry and biology. So it is going to be extremely difficult to, ask these modern people, especially young people, to actually believe in God. So this is not just a black and white subject matter. So that is why, in order to come up with a solution to move forward as a society, it's actually so important to sit down, especially with young people, and have an open and honest dialogue. So you guys can expect some of those interviews to come from this channel starting this September. And once again, thank you guys for clicking on this video and watching it all the way until the end. If you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more of my contents, please consider subscribing to this channel and clicking on the notification button. And I will see you guys next video.